If you could turn back time, what would you do differently? Story 7.
I shouldn't have ghosted him because now he is homeless. It wasn't a healthy relationship. It wasn't a 50-50 relationship and I knew he had been cheating on me, but he always asked for forgiveness and I always gave it to him. Mike and I were fresh out of college when we started living together. I got a job at a paper company as a junior accountant, while he had been jumping from one job to another. He never lasted more than 3 weeks in a job. He said that it was stifling or it was killing his creative energy or something like that. You see, Mike was an aspiring musician. College for him was his parents' way to control him, or so he said. It was a miracle he was able to finish it. It was an IT course, so his training and what he wanted to do in life were two very different things. I asked him to stay on a job longer or even take a bartending job. He was offered it by a mutual friend, just so he could sustain himself. But he didn't want to do any of that. Living together was his idea. He said we would be able to save money if we did. My job, while it gave me stability, didn't earn me much, so I said yes. But it was always me on the bills and the rent. Because he didn't have a job most of the time, I was tasked to pay for everything. It was exhausting, sure, but what really woke me up from my situation was his constant flirting with other women. He used to reason that it was part and parcel of being a musician to be friendly to fans. Then I found out much later that he slept with some of them. And when I found out, it was a big fight, naturally. But he begged me to stay. He told me he would be out in the streets without me. And that he loved me but he couldn't help it because he was feeling inadequate and the stress got to him. We couldn't afford therapy and I felt so sorry for him so I forgave him. That went on for a few more times. I felt sorry for him, true, but the reason I clung onto the relationship was because I simply loved him so much. I always thought that if only he had his big break, he would stay loyal to me. One day, without rhyme or reason, I decided to leave him. No goodbyes whatsoever. I didn't want him convincing me that he had changed. I just thought that I had been stupid for so long. I had been applying to other companies for the past few months and I had a few options now. So I got to work, making sure that Mike couldn't reach me anywhere. I sent my 2 weeks' notice to my old company after I signed a contract with another just one state over to us. I got myself a new lease and informed our landlord that I was leaving. My name isn't on the lease, so it would just be Mike paying. I paid a month to make sure Mike would have enough time to look for a roommate or move out if he chose to. And when the time came, I left without him knowing. He was at one of his gigs, or maybe temp job, I don't remember, when I moved out. I left no note, nothing. The neighbors knew, the landlord knew, and that was enough people to tell him I wasn't missing. Fast forward to today, 6 years later, I'm here in my car crying. I just finished visiting friends and got into my car when a homeless man appeared in my sight. My car is slightly tinted so I'm partly hidden. The homeless man looked familiar, but it was when I really looked at him that I identified him. Mike. He was unrecognizable. He had his cart filled with probably everything he owned. I knew he was using and he drank, but I didn't know it was uncontrollable. He looked really bad. Gone was the happy-go-lucky boy that I fell in love with. Right in front of me, eating a burger left by a kind passerby, was a broken, disheveled man. I can't stop crying. That was the man I loved and loved me back in his own ways. That was the man who supported me when I got my highs in life. That was the man who helped me find the beauty in life. In front of me is now a man who aged decades. That was someone I loved. I hated him for a long time for what he did. I thought ghosting him was an appropriate reaction because I didn't want to be swayed by him anymore. I can see now that it wasn't the right decision, not for me, but for him. True that he might have ended the same way had I said goodbye the proper way, but the fact that I didn't means I would never know. I'm crying because seeing him like this hurts my heart so much. He used me but he also loved me. And this guilt that I have right now is killing me. And most of all, I just feel extremely sad of the man that he became. I don't dare open my door and go to him. I can't. I drive off with tears in my eyes and my heart heavy. If I could turn back time, I would have not ghosted him at all.
If you liked the story, please give it a thumbs up. Share the video and subscribe for more. Click the bell icon so you don't miss out on new videos. Thank you very much.